Hello, my name is Luis E. Rodriguez, Sr. I want to tell you about my son, Luis Jr. Luis is 15 years old and is a high school freshman. Luis likes to paint, draw, and play video games online with his friends. The first time I realized how badly Luis was struggling in school was in fourth grade. His teacher contacted me to say she wanted Luis to repeat fourth grade because he wasn't learning. However, his teacher couldn't tell me how Lewis's instruction would be any different if he repeated the fourth grade. Instead, I asked for Lewis to have a special education evaluation. Lewis was diagnosed with a specific learning disability and received an IEP at the end of fourth grade. However, as the years went by, I still didn't see Lewis making any academic progress. Lewis wasn't meeting the goals set out in his IEPs, but the school district didn't seem to care. I felt like Lewis was frozen in time academically. I arranged for Lewis to be evaluated by an independent doctor. The doctor diagnosed Lewis as having a language-based learning disorder and recommended specific and additional supports that should have been included in Lewis's IEP. However, the school district simply refused to follow the doctor's recommendations. Whenever I brought up my concerns with Lewis's teachers or at IEP meetings, my concerns were dismissed. The team chair would announce that the team recommended certain services only without acknowledging that I disagreed. I felt powerless to help my son, which was a very, very terrible feeling to have as a father. Rather than giving Lewis the support he needed to learn, the school district told my wife and I that we should medicate Lewis, even though our doctor said medication wasn't necessary. In progress reports, the district started saying that Lewis was refusing to do his work. They started treating Lewis as a behavioral problem who needed to be disciplined, rather than helping him understand the work he was being asked to do. As Lewis got older, he changed from being a sweet and happy, easygoing child we knew and became withdrawn. He didn't like going to school. And in progress reports, his teachers noted that Lewis didn't socialize with the other students. He ate lunch by himself and stayed in the classroom at lunchtime and slept. And then in January of 2020, I called Max Helpline. I was very desperate to find a way to get my son the educational support I knew that he deserved. Lewis was in eighth grade, but still reading and doing math at the fourth grade level. Mac was able to connect me with an excellent advocate to support me in negotiating a better IEP for Lewis. However, by April, the advocate said we needed to find a lawyer to help us. We contacted Mac again. Mac tried to find a lawyer who could help, but everyone was overwhelmed because of the pandemic. A volunteer from Mac, a lawyer named Ilyse, agreed to make our case. Ilyse worked very, very hard on our case, filing many documents with the court and having mediation sessions with the school district. Ilyse listened to what I had to say and argued very, very skillfully on Lewis's behalf. And then in mid-July, the school district finally gave us what we were seeking for Lewis, a placement at a therapeutic school that specializes in teaching students like Lewis. Despite the COVID restrictions, Lewis is really enjoying his new school. He says that all of his teachers are so kind and what they explain, and that they explain all the concepts in different ways to make sure all the students can understand and learn what they need to learn. Lewis is also happy to finally have a class of friendly peers who are like him, very smart kids who learn in very different ways. Lewis drew a picture for Elise that shows him getting on a bus to go to his new school. And then on the picture, he wrote, "Thank you so much for letting me go to a new school." I can't thank Mac enough for what they've done for Lewis and our family. Mac has truly changed Lewis's life. I am now very optimistic that Lewis will grow up to be a very productive adult since he's finally getting the educational support that he deserves. I hope that everyone listening to my story is able to donate and support Mac so that Mac can continue to help many more families like mine. Thank you,
Thank
Mac.
you, Mac.